It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today I'm really excited to bring you an 8% double dry hopped New England IPA from the one and only, probably one of Denmark's greatest breweries of all time, Bad Seed Brewing Company. Now this brewery has produced some amazing styles of beer. And what right have I got to say that Bad Seed Brewing Company are one of the best Danish breweries of all time? Well, I can try and explain it at least. Bad Seed produce stouts, porters, imperial stouts, imperial porters, IPAs, New England IPAs, West Coast of America IPAs, lager, New World lager, Vienna lager, West Coast lagers, wonderful kind of barrel aged beers, barley wines, double New England IPAs, and what you get from them, even though they're like producing all of these different, an array of styles of beer. I've never had a bad one. I've never had a even slightly boring one. They've all been absolutely fantastic, and that comes down to the brewery, of course, the brewery's vision, and I think the input from the head brewer, which we'll get to in a moment. But first and foremost, I want to get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. There is Mr. SabreTooth there on the label. Peter, did you draw that? IPA glass for an IPA beer. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Nice glug on this, which indicates that it's got a good, maybe creamy, rich mouthfeel. I do like it when a beer glugs out of the can. Lots of sediment, look. Have a look at that. That last inch from the can has produced a lovely, look at this, let's wash it around in the glass. Lovely, hazy, lovely carbonated. Look at the sediment. Look at the sediment. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that sediment's doing possibly two things. It might be a canned conditioned beer. That means that the beer goes into the can with low levels of carbonation, and then the can conditioning brings that carbonation up because it's doing the second fermentation process in the can. That might be the one thing. The other thing for the sediment would be, of course, flavour. Adding all that sediment to the beer is going to add flavour to the beer. That haziness is adding flavour to the beer. All of the goodness of the beer is in the glass. If you make a real kind of bright, sparkling beer, most of the good stuff has gone down the drain. I guarantee it. Every single beer that's ever been produced in the world of beer has always been cloudy. It's just some breweries, the larger breweries, choose to absolutely filter it until they get a clear beer. But what they're filtering is the goodness, the amazingness, the fantasticness of the beer is all going down the drain. Let's get the aroma on this lovely, hazy, great head retention, 8% double dry hop New England IPA. Straw coloured. It's just magical, absolutely magical in the glass. Pineapple, grapefruit, tropical fruit, passion fruit, tangerine, orange peel, touch of grapefruit. It smells absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to dive in. Cheers, everybody. another cracker. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, another cracker of a beer. If you've not tried Danish beer, then please find some Danish beer. Find some of this if you possibly can. Denmark, of course, had I tell you what, so without telling any more stories, shall I give you the flavour profile of the beer? And then I'll tell you a story afterwards. Rich, creamy mouthfeel. So probably brewed with a load of oats, passion fruit, mango, grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange, little bit of sweet malt on the side over there, little small touch of kind of bitterness on the back end, so a lovely balanced beer, but all the flavour, I like to talk about balance in the beer, but if I retract all that balance, it's all the flavours kind of in the middle. It's all right down the middle of the beer. Passion fruit, mango, grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange, like guava flavours, and it's all kind of centred in the middle. A little bit of carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of the flavour, but it's the richness, it's the creaminess, it's the oatiness of the beer that is just truly fantastic. It's the mouthfeel that makes this beer. So by now you probably you understand a New England IPA. This is a double New England IPA, if I can afford to call it a double. What I mean by double is 8% ABV, in my mind, is always double. It's just how I've been brought up in the beer industry, is 8% ABV, double IPA. This is a double because you can feel that warmth. You can feel that kind of alcohol warmth sliding down the throat into the pit of the stomach. And it gives you that kind of sense of fulfillment. I like it. I like it a lot. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? So the beer is excellent. Let's get that bit out of the way. The beer is excellent. I'll rate it in a moment. But I want to go back to my story of kind of what made, who and what put Denmark on the map with beer. First and foremost, probably Carlsberg. Jacob, was his name Jacobson? Carlsberg, Jacobson, Carlsberg. Him, that bloke. He kind of like, and the Carlsberg Brewery put Denmark on the map. And then kind of like, that happened for maybe 100 years, couple of 100 years. They're still going, of course, Carlsberg. Carlsberg Marston's Brewing Company. The Danes are the biggest brewing company in the UK, owning Marston's. But there was another guy as well, and his name was Mikkeller. So Mikkeller was the kind of, when you think of Danish craft beer, you're thinking kind of Mikkeller. He was a man that, he was a gypsy brewer. People would send him recipes, breweries would send him recipes, and he would go back, either visit them, brew the beer with them, or send them an email towards the end of it all, before he opened his own brewery. He sent them an email with a recipe, and the exchange was that they put his name on the side of the can. So that's how that man made his name in beer. He then opened a brewery, opened bars, and now Mikkeller's in China, America. Amazing achievement. So that's Mikkeller. But then, of course, like anything in life, when a company becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, the quality slides and slides and slides. So on a personal level, I don't think the Mikkeller beers are what they once were. They're not as good as they were back when he was a gypsy brewer type of thing. So I think the natural progression for Danish craft beer then lies with this brewery, lies with Bad Seed Brewing Company, because their beers are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And it's all kind of, the head brewer is a good friend of mine, Peter the Master of Hoppits. He runs a YouTube channel called The Master of Hoppits, check it out. We started more or less within a month of each other back in 2010, reviewing beers on YouTube. Him in Denmark, me in the UK. We've become very good friends over the years, and we every now and again, I've met him in Copenhagen, I've met him in Sweden, he's come here to my house, and yeah, look out for Bad Seed Brewing Company. I'm going to rate this. Looks good, smells good, tastes fantastic. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!